We also have some crypto news from Crypto Eerie. This time, we'll talk about XRP ETF filings and where some of the bigger companies are. Why haven't they filed yet? I'm going to share my thoughts with you. We will also compare XRP to Bitcoin, since that's what most XRP boomers are talking about. Also, near the end of this, I wanted to talk about some things about Australia. For a while now, Ripple and the Australia Central Bank have been working together on CBDC technology, and I'd like to show you some facts about that. Let's begin this way. More Market XYZ said today that they will be adding the Ripple RLT stablecoin. They're going to start with XRP at the launch in May. We're excited to have them as a guest on the show. This means that more DeFi is being added to the XRP record. This video clip just caught my eye. So far, Crypto and Smokedog have only talked about the 4-year cycle and market trends. I know when we are going to talk about this, a lot of you who watch my live streams think that the 4-year cycle won't be around for this cycle, and this is going to talk about that right away. So I'm going to play this, ask them what they think, and then tell you what I think. People always ask me when I'm going to sell. One answer that people often give is, well, just sell when the bull market has been up in the past. Then there's a bear market until the next half and we start to earn. I think that's a little too simple because that works until it doesn't. And what drives crypto now will be very different from what drives it in the future. This is the use and benefit we're talking about, along with the recognition of that and the real transfer of wealth that will follow. Do you think that we will no longer follow? You can't say for sure, but you can say I don't think we'll continue to follow the 4-year cycle. Do you think that the cryptocurrency market is shifting from being driven by a 4-year cycle to one that is driven by uses and utility? If so, do you think that the 4-year cycle may be over, maybe not letting Bitcoin? There is no doubt in my mind that we are moving away from the 4-year pattern. A lot of data points, many pieces of evidence show that. Even if you look at how the cycle is doing, it's not doing at all like past cycles, and that's mostly because big investors like sovereign wealth funds are taking part. In the past, speculation was the only thing that drove the trends. Retail investors, you can call them, know that there are thousands of millionaires who aren't retail investors. It's not true that they run the world's largest regulatory bodies. Now, the world's largest regulatory bodies are finally getting into the crypto market and controlling it. Most of the big players in this market have never been in this market before, but they are now. That's interesting. What do you guys think? Do you know if this is a cycle, a new bear market? Or will things only get better from here on out? Tell me what you think in the comments. I am going to say what I believe. I heard the same thing in the year 2021. That time, I didn't really understand what 4-year patterns were. It's tough for me to believe that the market will only go up for another 10 or 20 years. It's clear that I believe we will have cycles. Really, what would happen if the US went into a recession? One of the biggest banking companies in the world is getting into crypto. But what will happen to the crypto market if that country is in a recession? Will it still be at all-time highs when no one is investing in the crypto market or the stock market? I believe we are still not there. The way I see it, we will still be in the 4-year loop. This time, I think it will be next cycle, if we can get out of it. Based on what I'm learning, that's exactly what I think. I don't agree with either of these guys when they say they are out of this 4-year pattern. We're still here. I say, okay, hey, if I turn out to be wrong, I'll make a movie to say so. But for now, I just don't think they're right. We're still not there. Before these banks and other businesses in the US can really start dealing with crypto, there needs to be rules in place. That's not yours. You have no idea when that will be passed. If it's passed tomorrow, you don't even know if it will be used. So does it start on June 26 or do we have to wait until July 27? That's right, 2027. And so, are these institutions going to deal with crypto if it's not regulated? I'm not sure. I don't believe that. I believe they will choose to wait for. The rules of the road are very clear. Here it is. Different stock exchanges like ProShares, Wisdom Tree, Coin Shares, Grayscale, Franklin Templeton, Volatility Shares, hashtags, Memex, and Tuckrium offer different types of stocks. I was trying to figure out who was missing. In other words, what companies took part in the Bitcoin ETF but haven't filed a spot XRP ETF yet? In what ways should we look for groups to join this? So, since BlackRock is the biggest asset manager in the world, it makes sense that they would launch iShares Trust, Bitcoin Trust, which has since grown to become the biggest spot Bitcoin ETF by assets. Fidelity is the next one. Trustworthiness. Good start. Another great Bitcoin exchange-traded fund, ETF, is Bitcoin Fund, which is run by one of the world's biggest and most trusted banks. That's why we need Valkyrie, VanEck, GlobalX, Pando, BlackRock, Fidelity, and Invesco. All of these are huge companies that we would love to see get into XRP spot ETFs. Further, it is said that soon clients of the 4 biggest US banks, Merrill Lynch, Morgan Stanley, Wells Fargo, and UBS, will be able to buy in spot Bitcoin ETFs. This does not apply to ETF issuers themselves. Quickly, Merrill Lynch is a Bank of America, right? Wells Fargo linked up with Ripple. UBS made a link to Ripple. It's interesting to see how all of these organizations are linked. Then I really wanted to know how much money each institution had put into this Bitcoin ETF. All of that information is right here on the screen for me. They spent $64 billion, 0 cents, as you can see. Over $120 billion, 0 cents, has been put into Bitcoin. The amount of money that could go into an XRP ETF is $10 billion, 0 cents, $25 billion, 0 cents, $50 billion, 0 cents, or $100 billion, 0 cents. What does this mean for the price of XRP? There is a 1x multiplier, a 25x multiplier, a 50x multiplier, and a 100x multiplier here. Should we be able to get around $100 billion, 0 cents in ETFs in the next 3, 4, or 5 years, the price of XRP could reach $100, 0 cents. Is that possible? I really believe that. This only applies to ETFs. The tokenization of financial goods isn't part of this, right? Let's say they process trillions of dollars every day. With RLUSD or XRP, that doesn't have anything to do with it. Okay, compare XRP to Bitcoin. People keep telling us that Bitcoin is the best technology in the world. It's just a way to keep money safe right now. Always keep in mind that if you listen to someone who is only for Bitcoin, you will hear how they've changed their mind or how they feel about Bitcoin. If they only say that Bitcoin is a way to keep money safe, it's a great place to keep money. It's a store of value in the cloud, but the tech will be used for a lot more than just keeping money safe. It will change the way people can make deals, move money, and buy and sell without the need for a third party that has been charging trillions of dollars in fees for decades. The kinds of savings that people can get when they use digital assets are listed below. So, these are some general facts. Bitcoin and XRP. Here are the dates and times of our launches. 2009 and 2012. Who set it off? Who started the XRP ledger? It's a way to store value, send money to other people, settle international disputes, make small payments, buy things in the real world, tokenize digital currency, and make sure the value of coins stays stable, right? Everything, you'd have to write all of that stuff down all the way down here. But one word that describes Bitcoin is store of value. Lots of people